Let us continue with the story of the man, the cross, the empty tomb. Jewish law was clear. A body could not remain on the cross through the Sabbath, which began at sundown. A wealthy member of the Sanhedrin named Joseph of Arimathea, who had secretly believed in Jesus, went to Pilate and asked for the body. Pilate, surprised that Jesus was already dead, confirmed it with the soldiers and granted the request. Joseph, along with a Pharisee named Nicodemus, took the body down from the cross. They wrapped it in linen cloths with roughly 75 pounds of spices, myrrh, and aloes, following Jewish burial custom. Then they placed him in a new tomb, carved from rock, in a garden near the crucifixion site. A great stone was rolled across the entrance, and the world waited. The chief priests, remembering that Jesus had spoken of rising on the third day, went back to Pilate with a request. They wanted the tomb sealed and guarded to prevent, as they put it, his disciples from stealing the body and claiming he had risen. Pilate agreed. Roman soldiers were posted. The stone was sealed with an official Roman stamp, and the world waited. The third day was a Sunday. Before the sun had fully risen, a group of women, Mary Magdalene among them, made their way to the tomb carrying spices to complete the burial preparations. They walked in grief. They walked, wondering aloud who would roll the stone away for them. They never needed to ask. The stone had already been moved. Not rolled, moved, shoved aside as if it weighed nothing. The Roman seal is broken. The guards, hardened soldiers of the empire, were described as shaking and falling to the ground as if dead. The tomb was empty. Mary Magdalene, weeping outside the entrance, looked in and saw two figures in white seated where the body had been. She turned and saw a man she initially mistook for the gardener. He said one word to her, "Mary." She knew his voice immediately. "Rabboni," she cried, which means teacher. Over the next 40 days, the risen Jesus appeared to his followers repeatedly, not in visions or dreams, but physically. He ate fish with them on the beach. He let Thomas press his fingers into the nail wounds. He walked 7 miles on the road to Emmaus with 2 disciples who didn't recognize him until he broke bread at their table. He appeared to a gathering of more than 500 people at once, a detail the Apostle Paul later wrote about in a letter, noting that most of those witnesses were still alive and could be questioned. The disciples who had fled in terror on the night of the arrest, who had locked themselves in rooms for fear, were transformed. Overnight, they became men and women who could not be silenced, not by imprisonment, not by beatings, not by death. Something had happened that they were willing to die for, and nearly all of them did. 40 days after the resurrection, Jesus led his followers out of Jerusalem one final time, across the Kidron Valley, up the slope of the Mount of Olives, to a place near the village of Bethany. He stood before them, and he spoke his final words to them, words that would become the mandate for a movement that would change the world. "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Then he raised his hands in blessing over them, and he began to rise. Not dramatically, not with a flash or an explosion. The accounts describe it with quiet, breathtaking simplicity. He was lifted up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. The disciples stood there, faces turned upward, staring into the sky. 2 figures in white appeared beside them and said, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, who was taken up from you into heaven, will come back in the same way you have seen him go." They walked back to Jerusalem, not in mourning, but with great joy. Fishermen, tax collectors, women, former doubters, a community of the unlikely carrying a story so extraordinary that 2,000 years later, billions of people across every nation on earth still tell it. The mystery of Jesus of Nazareth is this: history records his death, an empty tomb announced his resurrection. And those who knew him best gave their lives insisting he had ascended, promising to return. Whether you approach this story as history, as faith, or as the greatest mystery ever told, one thing is undeniable. No life before or since has left a deeper mark on humanity. That's the story of Jesus of Nazareth, the man, the cross, and the empty tomb. If this episode sparked something in you, hit that subscribe button and join the History Sparks community. Every week, we bring history's most extraordinary stories to life. Until next time, keep the spark alive.